گولڈ ہومز ریئلٹی شو کے اس پروگرام میں آپ کو میں خوش آمدید کہتا ہوں. یہ ٹورنٹو کا سب سے معتبر شو ہے ریل اسٹیٹ کے بارے میں. ہم آپ کو اوپینینز دیتے ہیں, ہم آپ کو اسٹیٹس بتاتے ہیں, ہم آپ کو مارکیٹ کی سچویشن بتاتے ہیں. یہ پروگرام ریمیکس گولڈ ریئلٹی کی طرف سے ٹورنٹو 360 کی وساطت سے آپ کے سامنے پیش کیا جاتا ہے. آج ہمارے گیسٹ جو ہیں وہ آپ کو انالیسس دیں گے مارکیٹ کا, آپ کو مارکیٹ کی سچویشن بتائیں گے, آپ کو مارکیٹ کے سٹیٹس دیں گے. یہ بڑا امپورٹنٹ پروگرام ہے, آپ ضرور دیکھیے گا. اسٹوڈیو کی بجائے یہ پروگرام میں نے اپنے دفتر میں ریکارڈ کیا ہے اور میں آپ کو اپنے دفتر لے کے جا رہا ہوں, اور دفتر سے ہی میں اس کو ٹورنٹو 360 دفتر سے ہی ٹیلی کاسٹ کریں گے. ویورز, جیسے کہ میں نے آپ کو پہلے بتایا تھا کہ we will transmit this segment from our Remax Gold office, and I am sitting with Hani Al Olabi, our broker in Remax Gold, the most suitable person for stats, for sales, for training, for everything. So he's doing very well and we are all proud of him. So Hani, let's start from your briefing about what these statistics are saying.
For that. Well, first, thank you so much for this intro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to cover the July's numbers. We're going to start with the average selling price. So if we were to compare July to July of last year, we're up by 1.2%. So the average sale price in July 2022 is $1,074,000. That's in the GTA.
Okay.
And we still continue to see the decline on month-to-month basis for all type of properties. The highest were the detached property, where they were lower by 6% from June of this year. And everything else is averaging. Semi-detached are lower by 4%, townhouses by 3%, condo townhouses by 3%, and condo apartment by 3.74%. And you can see these numbers are steady. So we've been seeing this decline since March, so March comparing to February. The other thing that we're seeing is just in general, we went up in February and March, and then we dropped after they started to increase interest rate. We definitely the demand went low by significant percentage. Where with June we had the lowest transaction in June since June 2000, and July it's since July 2002. However, we still see the similarity with 2017. Back then they did the foreign tax buyers, so they introduced the tax for foreign buyers where they pay 15% on the purchase price, and there was a big adjustment in the market. We're seeing very similar. At that time it came back in September and adjusted, so we're expecting another drop in August. September might be just similar to August, or slightly less or slightly more. It's going to be a small difference, but it's not going to be a significant difference. In terms of transactions are lower, as I mentioned, by 47.7% compared to the same time last year. So in July we did only slightly less than 5,000 transactions in the whole month. Last year we did 9,390 in July alone. Oh. So that's almost 50% less.
That's right.
And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's since June 2002. So that was July 2002 was the lowest number. Active listings are up by 57.6% compared to July of last year. So we are at 15,000 active listing. However, we're almost mid of August, and the listings are right now lower than this number. So we're witnessing decrease in the number of listings in the market.
Okay.
Month of inventory is low. So month of inventory is it's how many listing we have. So it's number of transaction based on how many listing we have. So based on what we have, let's say we don't get any new listing, we have 3 months of inventory. This is an indication to give you an idea if it's a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a neutral market.
Right.
Usually anywhere between 1 or like point something to 3, that's considered slightly favoring the seller. 3 to 5 months of inventory, it's a neutral market, and 5 plus is a buyer's market.
Buyer's market.
So right now, we are at 3.1. However, it's purely because number of transactions are low. So number of listings is still considered low compared to where we're supposed to be during these times. We're supposed to be at 20,000 active listings. However, we're seeing 14,000, 15,000 active listings in this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is basically what the market is right now. We're in August. We're witnessing again the same issue: low number of transactions. However, inventory is significantly going down. So we're less than 15,000. We're at 14,700 active listing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viewers, this is very educational program. So we are presenting you the stats of the market. We will talk in the next episode. We will talk about buying and selling and the market condition. But this segment is very, very highly educational. I am sitting with Hani, is one of the most educated person in real estate. Hani, what are the reasons why the inventory is low? Why people are not coming up for selling the house or whatever it is?
So basically, it's the main reason for this again definitely is the interest rates. Buyer confidence in the market that now and the prices went down. So basically, when let's say starting in January, February, buyers were very active and very aggressive in purchasing properties. First, because of the interest rate were low.
Okay.
Second, they were afraid of the prices to keep increasing.
Okay.
Right now, they have a different mentality. What if the price goes down next month? And that's the main reason. So the number of transactions is going down because the buyers, they're seeing there are more options, there are more room for negotiation, and prices are selling for every month is lower. As you see, 5%, and we're talking the average on month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening right now.
So I mean, I mean to say that the buyer is confused whether to buy or not, or buy next month or next year, something like this.
So buyers need to be educated.
Okay.
Right now. It's the best time to be educated about what's going on in the market and what's the best decision they're making.
Okay.
There is a factor that's being a concern with a lot of buyers.
Let's talk about buyers.
Yes.
And the buyers only.
Yeah.
Whether they are first-time home buyers, whether they are repeated buyers, whether they want to resale or something like this. So how you will advise the buyers to buy the house?
So now it's amazing time to be a buyer because there's no stress on the process. You're going to pick and choose what you like.
Okay.
However, first of all and foremost, mortgage, they need to do their numbers.
Okay.
They want to make sure that they can afford the payments for the next 5 years.
Okay.
And they're going to include all the other payments. So you have buyers, sometimes they miss the property tax payments where they need to another $400 a month, which is a significant number. Sometimes with the condo part where they have a monthly maintenance as well payment that they have to do every month. So finalizing their finances is number one. However, when they do that, I would recommend that they go around, check their options, would they check what their budget allowing them to buy.
Okay.
And then explore and see some recent sold in the area, see the trend in the area. Now it's a great time to be a buyer because you have the options and you can actually pick and choose before you're competing with 10 buyers at the same time. However, sometimes with buyers right now, there's hesitation. As I said before, what if the price is going to keep dropping? One thing to note that one of the main reasons why the prices were going up as significant as we've witnessed before is there we have a shortage supply.
Okay.
We don't have enough inventory. Ontario and the GTA especially, the population is increasing.
That's
First, people moving from within Canada to come here because of work opportunities. They have more job opportunities over here. And then people when immigrating to Canada, they're choosing this area as well for the exact same reason. We have a number of universities that are great in different cities in the GTA, colleges as well. So a lot of reason why people want to move here in this area.
Okay.
And that's why the supply issue hasn't been solved. So the prices that we see, the less demand on buying is going to be for a short period of time. We're talking a year or two. So if you're afraid that if the price is going to drop by, let's say, another 3, 4, 5% in the next month, make sure that that's fine compared to the return that you're going to get in 5 years.
Okay.
Your plan has to be based on 5 years.
Okay.
No one buys, say that I'm going to buy and sell next year. That's, even with the highest market, is not something profitable. It's not going to be something on for your good sake. Even if you're an investor, you have to hold it at least 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Discuss with the mortgage agent that you have in terms of mortgage payments. So whether you want to go fixed rate or variable rate.
Okay.
I would recommend to have a fixed payment. Whether you want to do a variable with a fixed payment, that's very good, because I like to know how much I'm paying for the next couple of years. I don't want my payments to be changing every time with the interest rate announcements.
Okay.
So like if the interest rate goes up, payments goes up. I don't like that personally. So I consult with my mortgage specialist that I want a mortgage that actually have a fixed payment. So there are some variable mortgages with the banks that they say, okay, the difference is going to be when if the interest rate increases, is the amortization is going to change.
That's it.
So it's going to be divided. For example, your payment is going to be over 30 years or 35 years. It's going to change based on that, and the portion that goes towards interest is going to be changed compared to what is going to go towards equity. Okay. So having options is the key. Being a first-time home buyer, or even when you're selling and buying, when you're selling, definitely sell first. You have the money in your pocket, you know how much you can afford, and then go with the buying process.
That's right.
There is no risk on that, because you know what you can afford. You know how much money you got from your own profit.
Yes.
So it's a great time to be a buyer, even with these, because you have the place to negotiate in price. Okay. Still going to see, I will still see some prices. Some properties are selling for 100, 200,000 less than asking. Sometimes sellers, they have high expectation, they're not getting that, and they know that if they sell low in this market, they're going to buy low, so they will eventually sell for that price. So this is a good time for that.
Okay. So you are basically advising that they should go on a fixed rate to have no surprises.
A fixed payment, not a fixed rate.
Sorry.
Fixed payment.
Okay. So your advice is a fixed payment.
Yes.
Not fixed rates.
Exactly. Well, fixed rate depends. If they have a good relationship with the bank, if they're a client with the bank might offer them something that is very competitive in the market. Definitely that would be an option. That's why the mortgage specialist at that time, depends on the period of time,
okay,
what they're going to offer.
Okay.
That's a good advice that they need to take from them, because we don't have access to their day-to-day deals on that.
So you have some good mortgage people in your team.
Definitely, we deal with the top.
If somebody wants to talk to you regarding the mortgage thing, you can refer them to the mortgage guy.
Definitely.
And they can go there and see all the options.
Definitely. So it's always good. So in the mortgage, when you get a mortgage, it's good to have a pre-approval from one mortgage advisor.
Okay.
Or from your own bank.
Okay.
It's always good, easier with your own bank, because they have access to all the information. You have account and everything. They have that numbers. But after that, after you get that property in your hand, it's a good idea to go around and see who gives you a better rate.
Okay.
That sometimes works for the best, because banks, when they see that you have a firm agreement with your hand, it's good to actually get some good quality.
Okay.
On properties that you want to, on the rate that they're going to get offered by the banks.
Okay. Hani, this was you have a very valuable advices for buyers, for sellers, for investors, for everything, and people trust you and people come to you. Let's talk about some the people who wants to come into this real estate business, newcomers, new real estate agents. What is your advice for them?
Make sure first you provide value to your clients.
Okay.
You provide value by educating yourself.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. When any person wants to hire anyone, they want to hire their expertise.
Okay.
So you need to build that expertise.
Okay.
And this is a very, your people are trusting you in their house. It's one of the biggest investment they do in their life.
Okay.
Could be the biggest.
Okay.
And they do it once or twice, or usually the average say 3 times a year, 3 times in lifetime. So being that person that they depend on, that makes us very, very special to that person, and you have a lot of responsibility, because you have to give the right advice to them, and you want to make sure that they actually made the right decision by choosing you for their service.
Okay.
I recommend anyone that is starting to seek coaching, because you cannot reinvent the wheel. There are some companies, the good companies, that will actually teach you and coach you how to reach how to become to provide the best service to your clients. And the other thing is you can do yourself is educate yourself on daily basis about the markets, about the areas, different demographics, different areas, what's main thing the buyers are looking for in terms of what question they may have all the answers and know the answers, and make sure you keep going. It's a field that it's a continuous education. You keep educating yourself, even if you're at 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, every day there's something new coming up. And you want to provide that value to the person, to the people that actually trusted you in one of the main transactions in their life.
Very good advice to newcomers. And if you want to contact Hani, he will give his direct number. Let's talk about future of market. What is the future of real estate in Canada?
Well, let's talk about future in real estate in Greater Toronto area, since we live here. In Canada will be a tough. I do have numbers, but I don't have the numbers outside our territory.
Let's talk about GTA.
GTA. So GTA, it's Ontario is one of it's the in terms of population and everything, it's the main province in Ontario.
Okay.
And the Greater Toronto area is actually the biggest part of the GTA of Ontario. So a lot of companies are targeting, a lot of people seeking jobs are coming here. So it's growing in a pace that is not sufficient to the house supply that we have.
Okay.
So we're talking about a future. We're going to have more demand than the supply.
Okay.
Regardless of the interest rate.
Okay.
If the interest rate is if they go up 5, 10, 20%, they're not going to go that high. But if they go high, people still want to live somewhere. Okay. And we've seen this today as rental prices skyrocketed in the Greater Toronto area. Okay. Because people stopped buying and now they started leasing, because that's the other alternatives. However, when the equations turns into, well, it's going to cost me more to rent compared to the monthly payment for rental is almost the same or slightly higher than the mortgage, then everyone's going to go with the mortgage, even with the high interest rate. We don't see interest rate staying up for the next, after 3 years.
Okay.
There should be slight adjustment. We didn't see the creativity in the lending section as a sector as we've seen in the U.S. So with the recent interest rate increase in the U.S., most of the banks, they did not follow that increase. For example, interest-only payments.
Okay.
We have, let's say, the lender did not follow the interest rate hike, and they're offering less interest rate compared to the bank. Bear in mind, banks, they want to give mortgages. They have a quota every year that they want to give out, and they make money off that as well. It's one part of their income. Okay. So eventually, they want things to move. They don't want to be. They want to control the market. They want to control inflation, yes. But at the end of the day, we're seeing right now the news are lessening. They're saying that, okay, the lumber prices are going down, oil prices are going down. So we're controlling, in a way, inflation is going where we want to go. They're saying that the interest rate increase, they were saying about 0.75 increase or maybe another 1%, but now they're lessening it to 0.5%.
That's right.
Maybe it could be 0.25. The near future, we're seeing low inventory. So inventory, I expect it to even go lower in September.
Okay.
So even with the increase in the interest rate in September, it might not have the same effect that it has before.
Okay.
Buyers going to see that less options are available in the market.
Okay.
And they're going to start acting fast. So I'm not saying price is going to go up, but they're going to act fast as good options will sell fast. Okay. What's going to last is the options that house that needs a lot of renovations, doesn't have an ideal layout. These might stay, but the good ones will sell very fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your prediction for the next
couple of months.
Couple of months.
Yes.
Oh, so you mean that prices will start going up again?
Again, definitely not again. like
Okay.
the same pace that we were talking, increase 5 to 10%.
On a normal,
But maybe it will actually stabilize. So we're not gonna see 5% decrease on month to month.
Okay.
We might see it's gonna be like 1 month it's gonna be minus 1%. The next month could be plus 1%.
Oh.
So it's gonna stay like that for a while.
Okay.
But I'm saying the good properties will sell fast because there are not going to be a lot of them in the market. Right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's an advice for sellers.
Okay.
If you want to sell your house in this market, it's good to have it in the best shape. So do the main, make it present, make it look very like nicely presented, staged. Do some upgrades in the kitchen, in the bathrooms. This is where we look for. There are a lot of ways that we deal with our sellers that make our listings unique and pop up in the market. Very important to market it very well, because once you do that, you will sell in any market. It might not be within a day or two, but it will sell within the 20 to 30 days. That right now it's days average on market right now for properties.
Hani, I have seen some of your presentations for listings, especially
Yes.
when you were doing some kind of training somewhere here. So, what is your listing presentation kit? What contains in your listing presentation?
So
What advice?
So it's a couple of parts. First is explaining to who we are and what we do.
Okay.
It shows our all the go on our Google page, see all the comments from our previous clients and their thoughts of us, and we go over on the market,
Okay.
market education,
Okay.
what's going on in the market,
Okay.
and we want to make sure what's the reason for the sale,
Okay.
and we go deep in that and understand. Again, we go over the marketing, what we do. We go over step by step on 3 stages that we have. We have pre-listing, during the listing, and post-listing.
Okay.
Where we do we have a VIP package that we make sure we cover every single point.
Okay.
And at the end of after that, we go over the value of the property, see what should be valued at, and what is the target listing price, and we start discussing the timeline and all that.
Okay. Yeah. So like you have special packages for everybody.
So yeah, we have a package. We definitely, when you're talking to a seller and a buyer, it's a different discussion. So with the sellers, we have the listing package, and the buyers, we have the buying package. And for the investor, we have the investor package, because investor, they look at the cash flow and they want something with a higher positive cash flow compared to when you first-time home buyers. You have you have your own needs that you want to fulfill first. It's not a cash flow purpose, so it's a more in depth on exactly what's been what the first-time home buyer are looking for.
So you do both direct comparison approach and income approach, like for
So
investors.
for investor, it's a different story, because investor, they want to know what is the cash flow right now,
Okay.
and what is the potential the gain in the future, in 5 years, in 10 years, and what they're looking for, especially with the adjustment of the increase in the rent as well, and potential of not finding the tenant bed and the vacancy rate and all that. So we take all these details into consideration and we present it to our investors.
Okay.
And with the first-time home buyers or the person who is actually upsizing or downsizing, we have a different package for them as well.
You're different
Yes.
package for that. And can you give your name and number again, sir?
So Hani Al Olabi, you can reach me directly at my cell phone number is 647-298-7500, and you can reach us as well on the website at hanialolabi.com, and you can email me as well at hanialolabi@gmail.com.
So, last but not the least, your advice to the buyers and sellers, please.
It's real estate is one of the, I would say, not necessarily say only, but it's the best investment that anyone can do in their life.
ناظرین آپ نے یہ اسٹیٹس دیکھے، آپ نے یہ حقائق دیکھے، آپ نے اولابی کی گفتگو سنی. ہی از اے ویری ویری successful businessman and realtor, and he's broker in Remax Gold. We appreciate his opinion. تو یہ آپ کے سامنے جو اوپینین پیش کی گئی، اس سے آپ کو صورتحال مارکیٹ کی جو آئندہ ستمبر اکتوبر نومبر جو بھی آئندہ صورتحال آ رہی ہے وہ سمجھنے میں آپ کو بہت آسانی ہوگی. آپ اس سے اپنے مالی جو آپ فائنینشیل جو آپ انویسٹ کرنا چاہتے ہیں ریئل اسٹیٹ میں، اس کی صورتحال اس کی تصویر دیکھ سکتے ہیں. یہ اوپینین ہم آپ کو اس لیے پیش کرتے ہیں کہ آپ کا ایک ذہن بن سکے. ریمیکس گولڈ کا ہر ایجنٹ آپ کو ایک نئی اوپینین دے گا، ایک پازیٹیو اوپینین دے گا، ایک کام کرنے کی اوپینین دے گا. آپ نے کوئی چیز بھی کسی چیز میں بھی انویسٹ کرنا ہے، ویدر اٹس فارم ہاؤس، اٹس موٹلز، ویٹ لینڈز، کاشتکاری کرنا چاہتے ہیں، موٹل خریدنا چاہتے ہیں، ہوٹل خریدنا چاہتے ہیں، فرینچائز خریدنا چاہتے ہیں، انڈسٹریل یونٹ خریدنا چاہتے ہیں، کمرشل یونٹ خریدنا چاہتے ہیں، یو نیم اٹ، وی ہیو آل دی ایکسپرٹس. اسکرین پہ میرا نمبر چل رہا ہے، مجھے کال کیجئے، میں آپ کو اس تمام سلسلے میں آپ کو ایک بڑی آنیسٹ اوپینین پیش کروں گا. اگر آپ نئے ایجنٹ ہیں، آپ پرانے ایجنٹ ہیں، آپ ریئل اسٹیٹ کے شعبے سے منسلک ہیں، ریئل اسٹیٹ سے ریلیٹڈ شعبوں میں آپ کام کر رہے ہیں، مثلا انشورنس میں آپ کام کر رہے ہیں، مارگیجز میں کام کر رہے ہیں، کنسٹرکشن میں کام کر رہے ہیں، آپ رینوویشنز میں کام کر رہے ہیں، ہمیں ضرور آپ ای میل کیجیے اگر آپ اس پروگرام میں حصہ لینا چاہتے ہیں. خاص طور پہ جو رینوویشنز میں لوگ کام کرتے ہیں، ہم آپ کی اوپینین دیں گے، آپ کو پریزنٹ کریں گے اور آپ کے سامنے چیزیں پیش کریں گے. اگر آپ ایڈورٹائز کرنا چاہتے ہیں تو ٹورنٹو 360 کا پلیٹ فارم حاضر ہے. آپ کی تمام تر پرسنالٹی کو دیکھتے ہوئے، آپ کے تمام تر بزنس کو دیکھتے ہوئے، ٹورنٹو 360 کے جو احباب ہیں وہ آپ کے لیے ایک پورا ایڈورٹائزمنٹ پیکج تیار کر کے اور پورے ایڈورٹائزمنٹ پیکج کے ساتھ آپ کو مارکیٹ میں اتاریں گے تاکہ آپ کے کاروبار بڑھ سکے، آپ کی انکم بڑھ سکے. عرفان بابا ملک کو اجازت دیجیے، بہت بہت شکریہ.